Hi Scorpio, here is a general look at your solar chart for July 2013. Before I look at where the Sun and planets are going to be, just want to mention that there's something of astrological note happening over July and August after the move of Jupiter out of its long transit in Gemini and into a fellow water sign, Cancer. Saturn and Neptune are already in aspect to each other in water signs in the sky, and when Jupiter moves into position it will form a triangular shape, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and this triangular shape in water signs is called a watery grand trine. Many of you will know that you've got Saturn in your sign, but once Jupiter moves into position in the fellow water sign, or sister water sign I should say, Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, and of course Neptune's already in Pisces, this then produces a wave, and this wave emanates from this celestial geometry, this music of the spheres, this spinning in infinity in the water signs, being very supportive to you. But also, with it sitting in our skies, it's going to affect us all, and so therefore we could, all of us, benefit in some way according to where we're at in our lives, and of course our zodiac sign, and many other things as well thrown in. But the general tone of it is support. It's a healing, flowing, supportive vibration, and boy do we need it, because we've got this very tough, long-standing aspect, or standing wave aspect, which I call the tinderbox, coming from Uranus and Pluto, which has been causing a lot of friction and upset worldwide as we're dragged kicking and screaming into the next level of our consciousness. There's a lot of other things happening, but this is a soothing, cooling, wonderful energy, and even when it moves out of the actual grand trine pulse, those three planets will remain in the water signs for, well, Jupiter will be there for 12 months, so from July or from late June. And for you personally, Scorpio, this grand trine energy is going to be in a very creative area of your chart. It means that your imagination could be stimulated to do with a project, or maybe an investment, or something that you're speculating on, or it could be a romantic relationship, and it's very easy to build castles in the air with, you know, an imaginative thing, sort of going off into the realms of fantasy. But this is such a wonderful balancer with Saturn where it is, offsetting Neptune's more outrageous flights of fancy, that I think Saturn's realisms and limitations are going to keep your feet on the ground and stop you from, you know, building the impossible dream. And Jupiter, once it moves into place to form the triangle, is going to open your mind to new horizons, thinking bigger, thinking outside of the box, definitely fresh adventures, and very unfamiliar scenarios probably, and all three of them together bring a wave of very positive energy into your life. So that is altogether a good thing, and that's a great asset for you to have during this time of Saturn in your sign, which is not a piece of cake. You know, it's not easy to have Saturn going through your sun sign. It puts pressure on you, and it may, you know, a lot of challenge and hurdles in your path. So this watery grand trine is, you know, is good news. Now, other news. Until the 22nd, the Sun is in a very outgoing, expansive area. Some of you could be traveling. Some of you could be connecting with people at a distance, connecting into new territories, new areas which are unfamiliar to you, and definitely getting outside of this routine box, thinking outside of the box. And Mercury's already been there for a while, since late May, so already you've been thinking bigger. But the Sun now, from actually late June up until the 22nd, is also boosting that and turbocharging that Mercury energy in there. So your spirits tend to become raised, and it raises the spirits is what I mean. And it's a great time to take a trip, get outside of, just get out and about more, and refresh your mental and emotional palette, as it were. And during this time here, you'll probably be full of ideas. You start to get enthusiastic about something, or some idea, or some project, or some venture, but you still need to do research. You still need to communicate about it or gather information about it. But it's a great time to test the waters on something, ask questions, put the word out, or source the word from wherever, to keep your ears and eyes open for what's new on the block. However it is for you, you can access a place outwardly or inwardly where you can just zoom out and refresh your mind and spirit, and also zoom out and get things in better perspective, hopefully. And then from the 22nd onwards, you'll probably be taking your targets and overall directions in life more seriously, rolling up your sleeves and saying, okay, now it's no more just the dream, the ideal, it's walking the talk. And you'll be more aware of image, reputation, and just how you're packaging something, authority figures, officials, bureaucracy, but also showing authority yourself, being responsible yourself. Now, Mercury, as I say, is in the area where you can get the bigger picture. It's a good time for you to be aware of, other options outside of the parameters maybe that you're used to. And those from a different background can teach you things. Those from a different background or a different culture can be features here more than usual. And communications, education, so higher education, this is very much a Mercury feature as well in this area of your solar chart. Anything to do with training, universities, school of all kinds, schooling, but also you as the teacher, you as the mentor, advice, getting advice, giving advice, getting guidance, giving guidance, and you being the informer or the informed, beating the drum on something, but also listening to what others are beating the drum about. Now, Mercury will be retrograde until the 19th, and they say the devil's in the detail, and that's something you're really going to feel with Mercury going retrograde. And that may change the bigger plan that you had, or the timing, or the scheduling. But Mercury goes direct again from the 19th, and Mercury will, though, stay in that area of your solar chart until August the 9th. So a really, really long transit from Mercury there. Probably not the best time to schedule things, if at all possible, during the retrograde period. And if you do, then expect some kind of glitch or hold up or delay. It might not be serious at all, just niggly and annoying and has to be tweaked and toggled and whatever. But anyway, for what it's worth, that would be the advice. Now, until the 23rd, Venus is at the top of your solar chart. Great news, authority figures. If you've got to apply for something, if you've got to look good in front of, make the right impression in front of, for professional reasons, or with authority figures or people in positions of power and authority, then this is a great helper for you, And it will tend to throw a good light on you. Of course, it's not going to do all the work for you. You've got to do it. You've got to play the hand of cards, but it could be very supportive, and there might be a female energy there who plays a supportive role and gives you a sort of a boost on your way, up the ladder of success. Or if it's not a female, it's somebody that you hit it off with who is in a position to help you, who is in a position of power. Could be a parent as well, more like the mother figure, really. Or the female mother, or rather, shall we say, the mother archetype. But but also during this time, you yourself could be seen by another as giving, a support, you giving a firm and friendly hand to another on their way, to their horizon, because others can see you in that way. And then when Venus moves on the 23rd, this is about group connections, friends and acquaintances, new ones, new contacts, but also old ones as well, very well starred there. And pitching in together, people being very friendly and understanding and supportive in whatever you're all doing together. And networkings are well starred, anything to do with being part of a collective. And Venus loves this area. Venus is very sociable in this area here, and that can be you in a cooperative effort, in a cooperative sort of venture with others, and generally it should facilitate positive experiences, but be flexible, expect the unexpected. And a friend or a colleague could have a contribution, can be invaluable to your progress, but also a friend or a colleague or someone may see you as being invaluable to their progress as well. Now, until the 14th, Mars is going to help you to change gears. Mars has been really giving you maybe a lot of turbulence within for quite a while. I mean, probably for the whole of June. And well, actually, you probably do know, so I don't need to describe it anymore. But Mars is in an area which is going to help you to change gears. But when we change gears, we have to push down on the clutch, and that's a sort of a metaphor for letting go and surrendering, throwing away an old game plan, throwing away an old script, letting go of some idea. And that's the pushing down on the clutch, and then the gears change smoothly. But what a lot of us do is we stick rigidly to what we thought the plan was, or the arrangement was, or the contract was, or the relationship was, or the job was, or whatever the contract was. Did I say that? Agreement was. And then we crash the gears, and then we get a lot of grief with that. So basically, this is a gear change time with Mars where it is, and if you're listening to this in June, you'll be feeling this, because it can really sort of wind things up inside you a bit, Scorpio, because you're a sign that can keep a lot in. And for you to understand that the trick here is actually this letting go, this saying, okay, actually, I don't think that is going to work quite like that, so we're just going to have to, I'm going to have to sort of turn it around a bit, or change it around, or I'm going to have to I'm going to have to consult with somebody on this, so that see if we can find a better solution here. And it can be centered around your property, or rather a joint property, joint possessions, joint monies, shared space. It might be really something quite small, it might be about, how the space is used, something that's borrowed, something which is loaned, something which is owed, because it can be about debts as well. But the bottom line is it's about how you prioritize, and how your values maybe clash with somebody else's set of values. You might feel something is good enough, but they don't, or they might feel something is good enough, but you certainly don't. And so therefore, certain contracts and agreements could be in an area which gets passions running high. On the other hand, if you're lucky, then you and someone can get very passionate about something. As a matter of fact, with Venus at the top of your solar chart, the cards are stacked in your favor there, because Mars moves out of that area there on the 14th and then goes into a much more expansive area. So this rather emotional area that Mars is in at the moment, and will be until the 14th, means that you don't like it because you don't have ultimate say, you don't have ultimate control. You're kind of waiting on the say, or the endorsement, or the schedule, or the mood of another. You see, this is how. Anyway, so now, having said all that, actually Mars in this area here means that you and someone could really be hitting it off and getting it on together, because it can be quite a sizzly area too. However, there can still be an element of you're having to keep an awful lot under wraps, you know, and maybe asking yourself some quite hard questions. But there's a banner across the sky that says, don't hesitate to let go of what obviously isn't working, what's old or irrelevant, and just past its sell-by date, and then that makes the space for the new green shoots, and that allows the gear to synchromesh and change. Now from mid-month, I'm not quite sure what synchromesh is, but mesh anyway. It sounds good though. Now from mid-month, that's a period then of Mars coming into a more expansive area, and you can really begin to see the bigger picture. You can join up the dots, and you can feel inspired, and then you can move forwards with things. And now Jupiter began its new cycle on June 26th, and Jupiter going to be working happily out of its own house, the 9th, for a very long time, and growth will come through travel, foreign connections, wider communications, bigger ideas, education, you know, you signing up for something, but also that's academically speaking, but also you learning through doing. And it's a great vibration for broadcasting something onto the larger stage, but also for sourcing information, reading, but also getting out there with your own knowledge and your own wisdom, so teaching as well, and also getting involved, maybe some of you, in the publishing sector, politics, the law, or at least having to look at the legal side of things. And in fact, probably this month, July, you may have to be looking into the legal side of things, because that's where the Sun and Mercury are going to be. And this is an expansive area, as I say, and the boundaries of your known world are going to stretch into new territories. And that's for a year. So you Scorpios born between 23rd of October and the 1st of November, up to 9 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. And of course, Saturn's in your sign. It's helping you, although you might dispute the fact that you're being helped, but actually, you know, Saturn is helping you to take yourself and your life and your direction and your needs more seriously. So that's about everything, just about everything, and having to work just a bit harder to get that how you want it to be, and concentrating your energy consistently and focusing consistently into those areas which ultimately will lead to a happier, healthier, maybe more solvent, and definitely more settled version of yourself. And this is the time for you to be building those structures brick by brick, from the foundations up. And yes, it's a challenge and it's work, but boy is it worth it, because anything done under a Saturn transit does stand the test of time. Saturn rules time, so choose well, and then you should be glad you did later on down the line. And you Scorpions born between the 27th and 29th of October, or with 4 to 6 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. And if you want to know, if you're interested in what the outer planets are doing and how they might be affecting your sign this month, I just updated every month. Go to my website, you can see that there. And also listen to the forecast for your moon sign or your rising sign. It'll maybe throw a different light on what I've said here, and I'll see you the next time.